a word, a phrase, and then just meditate on that. It doesn't have to be long, 5 minutes, but just meditate on that, again, to hear the Lord's urging through the Spirit. Well, I've had a busy week. It hasn't been that I've been extra busy at church, although I have been. I've visited a lot of people, and a lot of people say hi to all of you folks. Some of you actually are probably watching today that I visited. So it's been great, and we're getting ready for vacation. That's where everybody is this morning, packing and all that sort of thing. And that's not even really why I've been so busy. I've been busy because it's Olympic week. One of the first, right, Olympic weeks. We are hoping... I use a capital we, but it's really Katie and I think the guys hopefully are going to come along, are hoping to go to Milan, Italy, obviously, in 2026 for the Winter Olympics. So that's kind of what has been our goal for about 2 years. So we'll see if that works. But we are a big Olympics family. We love, I don't know if any of you have been watching a lot, but we've been trying. So I got up at 6 to watch a few live things a.m., but usually we've been just getting together, about, I don't know, probably 9 or 10 by the time we get there. And thankfully we can just fast forward through commercials and we stay up till I don't know how late in the morning watching all the highlights. So we've been having a really good time, and especially swimming we've really enjoyed. Last night was the last swimming event, those of you who are watching it also. So I thought it might be fun for me to start my sermon today with some swimming Olympic trivia. Okay. I'm getting, Sue, are you getting like a flashback of like Disney trivia night when we had our family fun night? Thank the Lord for Barb Futrell, because man, she was there, but wow, that was tough. Okay, so here we go. The first one's hard, okay, and then they get easier. Okay, what year was the first year of the modern Olympics, and where was it held? Feel free to type in, those of you who are at home, maybe Mark will zip over there and check. Okay, where was the first modern Olympics? Greece, yes, Athens, all right. What year? This one I didn't know either. 1896. 1896. So when you win Jeopardy with that question, you know where you could give half your money, right, to the church, okay? All right. Number 2, in what year was women's swimming added to the Olympics? Just give a guess, ballpark. It's an even number. It's like a decade. Women's swimming added to the Olympics. Just be brave. 40s, earlier. 20s. 1920 was the first time that women were in women's swimming was an event in the Olympics. I was just kind of amazed by that it was that early, to be honest. I thought it was even later, so that was cool. Okay, so here now I think we're of an age that most of us are going to know this one. I remember this when I was little, so you're all of us are going to remember this one, I think, except for Trey and Lauren, probably. Okay, who was the first Olympian ever to win over 5 gold medals at one Olympics? And it's obviously a swimmer. Mark Spitz. Mark Spitz, there he is. What year? You can kind of guess by looking at his clothes, maybe what decade. And his haircut. 72, yeah, 72. And how many did he win? 7. Very good. 777. Okay. And obviously, you've all seen the stuff if you're going to see it, right? I'm not spoiler, right? That Dressel, what's his name? Caleb, yeah, Dressel. Caleb, like we're best buddies. Yeah, Caleb. He texted me last night, But yeah, so Caleb Dressel then also got his 7, right? So that was pretty cool. 5. Okay, so next one. 2 more. Hang in there. The next one. Who is the most decorated American female in Olympic swimming history? No, I thought too, maybe Katie Ledecky. I didn't know this one either. Swimmer Jenny Thompson, there's her picture. I recognize her now that I saw the picture when I looked it up. Won 12 medals over the course of 4 Olympics from 1992 to 2004. So that was kind of cool, I thought. Jenny Thompson won 12. And you know what? She's now an anesthesiologist. That was kind of fun. Okay, last one. Who is the Olympian with the most medals of all time, not just swimming, and how many has he won? Everybody say it together. Michael Phelps, right? Yep. How many medals, though? You could count them, but 28. He's got 10 more than the next person, who's like a Russian gymnast who I'd never heard of. So yeah, 28 between 2004 and 2016. And out of those 28, if you could, maybe we were counting them on his chest there, how many are golds? 23 gold medals. 23 gold medals out of, and okay. So, why? I hope this was fun to kind of get you kind of in the mood, but why did I start here? Because this kind of was started percolating after I heard something that Michael Phelps said. So yes, I am going to get to Jesus our Lord as quoting him as the most important, okay? But I am going to quote Michael Phelps first, okay, of something that he said. So as he was talking about this, and I hadn't really ever thought of this in swimming, but he made the comment in one of his commentaries about how that you want to really get out there as fast as you can so you can get into open water. And I'd never really thought of that, because I'm like, well, that other person's like, how many feet away, 6 foot away in their lane. Does that really affect you that much? Well, apparently, those of you who saw the last relay last night, right? The 4x100 freestyle got a gold medal and a world record. Spoiler alert, I guess I should have said that earlier. And they think part of that was because there was an open lane next to them. They were like in lane 7, and there was an open, empty lane. So there wasn't that extra. And again, if I'm swimming at home, it wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't bother me at all. But for these elite athletes where there's milliseconds between each one, that really would make a difference. So that little bit of bob, if you will, or somebody else swimming, and those ripples that go over truly, truly do affect their performance, at least according to Michael Phelps and all the other commentators and that sort of thing. So they really do make a difference. So today you can, see maybe from all the visuals we've had, that my sermon is talking about ripples in a pond, of how is that, again, that our actions affect other people, our words affect other people. And again, is it for a positive or is it for a negative? I remember one time up north, I was kayaking, and it's a pretty small lake that we go to, Lake Millicocan, and I was kayaking, and I've, done quite a bit of kayaking, but pretty straightforward. I mean, not like in rapids or whatever. I mean, I didn't do like the Olympic, canoeing thing, but I can stay afloat, right? Okay, no problem. But this guy came through with a motorboat, and it wasn't that big of a motorboat, I don't think, because I'm not that big into boats. But it went through, and I about tipped over. I mean, it was just incredible. You've seen that, right, where it says no wake as you're going through, right? Don't make waves, for lots of different reasons, for safety, obviously, traditionally. And it really got me thinking, all these different ideas got me thinking again of this image of what that's like. And again, if you think of whatever it is that you're doing, and again, you could do this 20 times each day, of this particular thing I said, or this particular action, right? Throughout your day, what are those ripples that go out to other people? What we do matters to ourselves personally, and to our community, and to our world. The way we respond to the circumstances that we find ourselves in will influence everything around us. So let's just start really basic, and I'm hoping we'll work into maybe some real ways that you can kind of, I hope at least, kind of dig a little deeper, right? Dig a little deeper into yourself and your actions. So let's start easy. You've had a bad day for whatever reason. Okay, you got up late, or your coffee spilled on you, or whatever, right? So you get in the car and off you go. What are you probably more likely to do? If you're in a bad mood, you get in the car. Speed, road rage, cut in front of people maybe, get mad if someone makes a mistake, right? So automatically there that is, right? You do that, shake your fist at somebody, cut somebody off, whatever. What do you think is going to happen to those people that were impacted by you? right? Out goes that next level of the ripple of the pond, right? And then they go on and they get to work, and then they're really mad, or they say, nope, I'm dropping this account, or, or they're mean to the, whoever else that they happen to run across. So again, in a very basic way, but just think about how one little thing like that can ripple. And again, there's so many different other things. I'm driving along and I'm just going to throw my trash out the window. Okay, so then somebody else picks up that trash, or somebody else sees it and goes, oh yeah, this is a good place. I'm going to pitch my, McDonald's bag, right? And so that ripples and ripples, whether again, negative or positive, all these things really truly do affect. And then again, you look at down the line, right? Now our kids are having to worry about all these, environmental issues because of these things. Now, just because I would happen to throw out maybe a gum wrapper, okay, is that going to affect, Katie's grandchildren down the line? Okay, so there is, you got to be reasonable about it. But at the same time, truly, our actions really do have this rippling effect. I'm convinced, much more than I think maybe we've ever, really realized that before. Same thing. I choose to say derogatory or racist remarks. That's my choice, my freedom. Okay, yeah. But look at all, again, the different ways that is manifested. I saw a really terrific, I think at least, it looks like it's going to be a great movie about Serena and Venus Williams. That just looks amazing. I just saw that trailer for that. But again, just talking about how is it that all of these different actions ripple out. And to me, one of the first things we can say is, how is this contributing to the good in the world? Another way of saying, what would Jesus do, right? Would Jesus be a big, person just throwing trash out? I don't think so. Jesus really wasn't like big, he walked everywhere instead of driving. So that was good, right? But seriously, we don't have a lot of information about Jesus's environmental stance. But at the same time, I would say it would be pretty clear that he would say to take care of what God has given us, because he says that in every other aspect. Take care of these humans that God has put in your path, right? That Jesus loved all and cared for all. So that's maybe the measuring stick of our actions. How is that carrying forth our actions, carrying forth the teaching of Christ, that we're all in this together? And that, again, just like the ripples in that pond, that everything that we are doing as a country also ripples out right to the world, as a church, as individuals. But again, obviously ripples can work for good. I'm doing a lot of referencing to TV shows and more pop culture today. But how many of you have seen a TV show called Ted Lasso? Oh yeah, my brother Mark raised his hand because I kind of forced he and his wife to watch it, because we love it. If you get a chance, it's worth $5 a month to subscribe to Apple's TV just to get this. There's some salty language by Roy Kent, one of the soccer players, so you got to kind of be careful of that if that's offensive to you. But to me, it's well worth it to see the message of this. They just came out with start of a second season. And what I love about it is that there's this soccer squad who's kind of pulled apart in different people, and everybody kind of looking out for themselves and various things. And again, I don't want to for sure not give a spoiler. But it's this one man, Ted Lasso, who comes over and single-handedly, by his positive attitude, by his thinking the best of people, by his always looking for, giving grace, showing grace to people, by his actions, that everybody around him, their lives are enriched, and they then in turn are then treating other people better. So it's a beautiful example of that ripple effect. I read this in one of my worship preparation emails from Seasons of the Spirit. It said, recent times have highlighted the importance of community when the choices of individuals might have made about the choices that individuals have made about how to go about life could leave endangering consequences to others in the community. Conversely, community is life-enhancing when we all pull together. This sense that we are not purely individual but are always interdependent may be a new revelation, but it is not new knowledge. It has been taught in the scriptures since the beginning, right? That we're all in this together. Think about the body of Christ, right? That we each are a different appendage, but all working together for the common good. God calls us to live a connected life, right? We all are coming together as Christians or as church members, right? God calls us to live a connected life, to come together in community, and to grow together in truth and love. It is this way that we engage in ministry and become part of the work of God's salvation. Again, together, working together. I found what is my actually new favorite quote, but it's by a guy you've probably never heard of, and I had never heard of, Terrence. He's just known by one name, maybe like Cher or something, I don't know. But he lived in 185 to 159 BC. So that was pretty common back then, right? To just have the one name or go by the one name. Terrence. And he's actually credited of saying several sayings that you probably know. Fortune favors the brave. That was Terrence. Where there is life, there is hope. And then this one you probably for sure have heard, time heals all wounds. That was Terrence, good old Terrence in 185, right? A Roman playwright. But here is my new favorite. I am human, therefore nothing relating to humanity is outside of my concern. I am human. I am human. We're all human. Therefore, nothing relating to humanity is outside of my concern. Just imagine what our world would look like if everybody took old Terrence's quote here to heart, right? We are all humans. We're all in this together. So even I am not maybe being discriminated against, but guess what? Some of my other human family is, so I need to do something about it. I have enough food, but you know what? There's people over here, whether in my country, in my town, in the world, that don't. So I need to care about that, right? Again, look at all these other different issues that maybe we ourselves aren't particularly immediately experiencing, but yet other humans are. Then guess what, folks? That makes it our concern. And again, is this biblical? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. Jesus would go among all people, helping all people. He was the ultimate, right, in working towards unity and working towards oneness. That stone soup message, again, rings true to me. If we all give what we can, we have enough. And again, I'm not even talking resources, which we do a lot of, but even just, again, of just giving of our positiveness, our energy, right? Helping each other out. Jesus is the bread of life, he says, correct? And we're going to be experiencing that just in a minute. We have to remember that. And again, think about that as that gift that God gave us of Jesus Christ and how that ripples out into our lives. I mentioned about, that the way that we all give for each other, right, of our time and our talents and helping each other. But I did want to also mention something about resources. So several years ago, Haley is like, hey, we really need to be doing more social media. Yeah, Aislinn Valentine had started a Facebook a while ago. Haley started doing some stuff. Jill Green took us on. So little by little, right? My brother was looking for something to do in the middle of COVID and said, hey, if you guys don't have this, I'd be happy to. Sure, okay. Right, off it went. Look at all the different people that are now learning and training how to do that. Look at all the people that we're reaching now. Look at all the different ways that has expanded. It's been incredible. And again, some of that was these different individuals and their using of their times and their talents and their passions to even suggest it. But then also so many different people who gave of their resources to be able to do the live stream, to be able to have our beautiful audio system now. So I want to show you a video of thanks. We got 2 grants. One was the ABC Ohio, one was from the UCC Heartland Conference. And as part of the Heartland Conference grant, they asked if we could make a 30-second to 1-minute video that's going to be shown at the annual gathering in September. Now, those of you who know me well know that if I can say something in 10 words, I'll usually use about 1,000 words, right, instead. So instead of 30 seconds, my original one was like 5 minutes, right? So Mark finally pared me down to like 56 seconds, okay? So, but anyway, but I do want to show it to you. It is for, and I also sent it to the American Baptist churches, and they're going to show it to their council who had given us the grant. But I also wanted to make sure to show it to all of you folks here and at home. Because again, without your generosity, and again, this is specific to the live stream, but again, it is because of the grant, but again, it is for all people who help with any of these projects, including the audio system. So again, we just thank you from the bottom of our hearts to all of you who are watching on the live stream and who have helped with it in any way. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I had it memorized, but I don't, so I think they're going to put words and sound instead for us. No problem. So this is hysterically ironic because the one thing I said to my brother was, we needed this video to be really, really good. Because it's not like we got a grant for like the food pantry, so we're just showing some pictures. We got a grant for live streaming and video stuff, right? So we have to make sure that this is good. So it really is very good. We just have a little sound glitch, which is so weird because it was working like literally a second ago. Any ideas there, Mark? Okay. All right. So we're going to save this, and I'll show it to you next week probably. But anyway, we just really appreciate all of the time and effort and finances that were donated. And you can look at, well, as I'm talking, just look at the rest. And we appreciate, again, your patience. Isn't that great, as Evelyn watching it? And there's Jake watching it. Again, this was a while ago. Look how long. And that's Aislinn Valentine's and Mark Schmidley's little girl, Sammy, watching the little live stream. And so we would definitely will play that for you again. But isn't it great, again, to see all the different people that we've been able to reach? Aislinn and Mark live down in Columbus, but their little girl, Sammy, is watching us, her home church now, because, again, she's been able to do that. And again, just those ripples just keep going and going and going. I want to conclude my time today, or my sermon today, with a poem that I found, which I think is very simple, but I'm going to read it slow because there's lots of just single words, but I think it's really, really powerful because of that simplicity. So this is a poem called Knitting, and I will probably put this out on Facebook or on one of our newsletters. Knitting, it's by Neryl McCollum. And just, again, if you even want to just kind of close your eyes and just listen to these different words wash over you. We are interlocked, interwoven, interactive, one body in Christ. We are intermingling, intersecting, interdependent with the whole of creation. We will intercede, intercept, interfere against forces of evil. We will interpret, interject, intervene, interrupt, integrate, until as it is in heaven, so it is on earth. May it be so. Amen. May it be so. Today we share in the